Hey guys, we just got back from St. Clair, and it was just kind of off the chain. It was a smash fest to say the least. Went up there, and we had different aspects on what we needed to do, whether we fish, some of the areas more popular up there, just kind of throwing a drop shot and whatnot, trying to catch some of these fish as they're coming in to spawn, and we caught some doing that. It was a pretty good time.
Yeah, there was some fish out a little bit, and as the day went along, we got a little shallower and seen some more beds, and I think that's when the fun started.
That's when Brandon goes, let's pull the plug. I got a place to go to. So we did. We pulled the plug. The wind wasn't blowing bad. We took that bass cat and we took a boat ride. And we pulled into a bay, and Brandon kept telling me, he said, dude, we can flip these fish. We don't have to throw a spinning rod. And I'm like, yeah, I'm all for that. So we did. We pulled into the bay, and we pulled up to the first little head of this little clump, and you could see the beds. I mean, it looked like semi-tires, just black semi-tire holes out there. So Brandon flips a rage bug in on the very first one and smokes one well over 5. And of course, boat flips it in because, like I said, throwing 20-pound in BizX. And then it was just kind of game on from there. So
Yeah, it's fun. We got to take my boy up there with us as well. He'd never done anything like that, and Dad hadn't either, to be honest with you. I mean, he had been out there in the summertime a lot of times. Obviously, you guys know he's done well up there when they're out, but I'm like, I went a few years ago with some buddies, and I'm like, you got to go do this, man. I mean, this is as fun as it gets, and it's a destination. There's a lot of boats up there, but those smallmouths don't care, and they keep coming. It's a phenomenal fishery up there, and there's not one area you can go do it in. I mean, you can go do it in a lot of different places on that lake. The weird part is you can go through there and you can go through stretches on your trolling motor on high and never see a bed, and hundreds of yards, and then all of a sudden you come into it, and there might be 30 beds within an area that you can see. And when the sun's up like that, I mean, it's something really special that everybody needs to go try at least once to do. And you get St. Clair and you talk about go throwing a half shell drop shot, and that's a great way to catch them. I mean, that's people you can do it all day long like that. But to me, and the way I like to fish, taking that structure bug right there, half-ounce weight, 4/0 Hayabusa, flipping hook, 20-pound line, lose rod and reel, and it's power fishing, and that's not what a lot of people think when you go to St. Clair. And it is an absolute blast to do. I mean, those fish they're big, they're strong, and to me, it doesn't get any better. Like I said, the cool part was to get 3 generations up there, myself, my dad, and my son, to catch smallmouths. My son caught the biggest smallmouth he's ever caught in his life, biggest fish he's ever caught in his life. So,
and his first smallmouth.
So they kept getting bigger as the day went along. So he was tickled to death. He wanted to go up there, and he didn't have real high expectations. He wanted to catch 1 fish a day. And I think he caught 10 the first day, and went along the second day. I think he caught 6 or 8. Slept most of the day, so he got up and he got to where he enjoyed doing it and figured it out pretty quick. So I'm sure it's a destination or a trip he's going to want to take again at some point in time. You guys need to get up there. It's always, Memorial Day weekend is always a great time to set your calendars and look at that and try to make a trip up there. I set my calendar every year for it to make that happen, and I believe he's going to from here on out if he can.
I won't miss it again.
But it's not just one area up there. I mean, you can go to a lot of different places and go do it, and you can do it anywhere from 2 foot of water or 1.5 foot of water all the way out to 7, 8, 9, 10 foot of water, whatever you can see. The pollen, I guess, is what it was on the water the first day, up around the mile roads, made it a little more difficult to see. But as the week went, the day goes along or whatever else, that stuff clears out. You can catch them there. Again, Anchor Bay. There's a lot of different places you can go in there and catch those smallmouths and have a trip of a lifetime. I'm not going to say we caught 100 fish a day or 200 fish a day. I mean, to me that's impossible. But you can go up there and catch 50 fish a day and have an absolute ball.
Oh, without a doubt. And I mean, our best 5 each day, no exaggeration, we were in that 27, 28-pound range for our best 5 each day. Numerous 5-pound fish. And like I said, we could have finessed them some, I guess. We never got a net out. I had a net in a boat. We never once touched it. The only thing we would do is, and we did lip maybe 4 or 5 of those big ones like that. But 99%, as you'll see on this video, are all boat flipping fish. And we had an absolute ball. And I thought the coolest part was, I mean, we're on a 3-foot flat that's probably a good mile from any depth of water at all. And I'm still trying to wrap my head around where these fish come and go from. I mean, it's just amazing. But that many fish were back there, and we're back there, and we look down and you see 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 come cruising by. I mean, jumbos, they're just still coming in, and continually to come in. And I'd say this is going to go on for the next 2, 3, 4 weeks. These fish are going to continually come in there and spawn and leave and spawn and leave. And, it's kind of cool when you catch a 5-pound fish and you take your picture, you put it back in the water, and he just swims right back over on that same bed. You can come back through 15 minutes later if you want and catch that fish again. I mean, it's a trip of a lifetime.
And that's something good that Michigan does too. Season's not in. You're not allowed to put those fish in the live well. So, those fish get to spawn. They get to, have those babies for all of us to go up there and catch from here on out. So it's not like, having a tournament where you go catch them on a bed and haul them off and take them 30 miles and do all that stuff. Those fish go right back on there and, have generations of smallmouths for the rest of us to catch from here for a long time. And that's a really, really neat aspect that Michigan does. And, to protect that fishery, to protect all the fishery up there. It's just, it's a special place. It really, really is.
And like I said, season up there comes in the 3rd full Saturday of June. So, I mean, it's not like season's coming in a week or two. So after the 3rd full Saturday of a 3rd full week of Saturdays, that's when season starts up there. And right now, I love fishing Canada. Canada's closed. It's been closed. It was closed all last year due to the pandemic. And it appears that it's probably going to be closed again this year, which is going to make, the fishing just that much more phenomenal for all the fish that live in Canada and spawn. So, I mean, the fishery is off the chain, take care of it, protect it, and like I said, that water's so clean and so prestige, you got to watch it. But the other thing, be careful. I mean, it's big water. I mean, you got to come and you got to go, and be smart, watch the weather, watch what's going on, watch what the wind's going to do, watch what the storms are going to do. And just like Memorial Day weekend's coming up, it'll be phenomenal fishing, but there will be 5,000 party boats, big boats, cruiser boats.
Yeah, there'll probably be a small craft advisory, and it won't be because of the wind.
Yeah.
It'll be rough.
So it'll beat your brains out. Ramps are good. A lot of pay ramps up there. Most of those are very secure. People flip out a little bit when you say you're going to Detroit and going fishing. But just be aware of your surroundings. If you go up there, it's a good area. There's different places to stay, and some places probably not to stay, but just be smart about it all. But like I said, it was a trip of a lifetime, to say the least. Good eyeglasses, I wear Wiley X's, with the Captivate copper lens. The other brands make good glasses as well. But make sure you got a great pair of glasses so you can see these fish up there. And go have fun. I mean, what an enjoyable trip it was.
Yeah, there's not much finesse into it if you don't want it to be. But if that's your style, you can catch them that way as well. But it doesn't get a whole lot more fun than what we just had, I can promise you.
Well, we watch boats all around us.
Yeah.
And 99% of them were throwing spinning rods.
Yeah.
And it was kind of funny because they got to watching us more than anything, because we were catching probably 5, 6, 7, 8 fish to their ones that they would catch. And like I said, we weren't finessing by no means.
No, and another key thing, up there too is, power poles. Without power poles, they got to work out this week. Up, down, up, down, up, down, because literally, you go 10 feet and you'd power pole back down again. You'd power pole back down again. Up, move on, catch another one. So, they got to work out. But not saying you can't do it without a power pole, guys. You absolutely can. But if you have them, or you're in the market for one, it comes in handy up there real quick. And the spot lock type stuff and the anchor type trolling motors, all that are great. But for that type of fishing right there, you want power poles all day long.
Because when you're bed fishing like that, if you go to anchor lock or spot lock, whatever, that trolling motor's spinning constantly. So it'll blow some of that soot and blow some of that stuff into the bed where you can't see it quite as well. Where, a lot of time we're on 50% or better on a trolling motor. We're cruising. We're just looking, where's that next bite? Where's that next bite coming? And so we're cruising through there, and you see a bed just hit the power poles, and a lot of times about threw us out of the boat because they'd stick, and we'd go forward, and it'd slingshot us backwards. But, that fish might swim off that bed for a minute, and you just watch him. You know, he might swim out there 30 yards and he turns around and he swims right back on that bed, pitch in there and just doink. It was a special time.
Yeah, and it's you can learn a lot watching those fish do that. I mean, when they get on those beds, I mean, it'll help you largemouth fishing too. I mean, you can kind of figure out if a smallmouth, if a fish on a bed wants to bite or not. Sometimes you got to make them bite, and it takes, and there you don't know, it takes some time. I mean, we took 35 minutes to catch one of them, which in a tournament situation, I mean, that can wear you out a little bit, but pay attention to how those fish act. You can tell pretty quick how mad they're getting, how quick they're getting back to the bed, all that type of stuff. That makes a big difference on how quick and how effective you can catch those fish.
And where they come into that bed. You know, they're going to leave it, but they're always going to come back into the right spot. And you'll play around, you'll throw here, you know, say your bed's the size of this, you might throw here, you might throw there. Then all of a sudden it might be right here is that one spot, and that fish will aggressively change its mode to look at that bait. So once you find that particular spot, it's pretty well game over at that point. But you got to play around. Like I said, they're going to tell you where they want it at, and then once you figure that out, you're pretty well golden. So watch this video. Let us know. Give us your comments. Like I said, a trip of a lifetime without a doubt. If you're looking for a destination trip, you know, I highly suggest St. Clair. If you like to fish deep, drop shot and whatnot, come on up here in July, August. You know, September, they start running them rivers, and it gets phenomenal then too. But right now, like I said, if you want to go bed fishing or catch them coming and going, you know, you can throw a jerk bait right now. But like I said, we threw the Strike King half shell when we did drop shot, and the rest of the time was a rage bug. I'd like to have a whole bunch of elaborate tackle out here and tell you needed this, this, and this. But honest to God, that was our baits right there. That was it. We didn't throw nothing else, and it worked. So, guys, pay attention, have fun, enjoy it.